for the first pitch of the ball game after these messages.
Morning.
Welcome to McDonald's.
You probably...
There's almost a World Series atmosphere here tonight with a tremendous number of people along press row. As a matter of fact, about 45 minutes ago, Mr. Jim Kinney of the Cardinals front office made the announcement that anybody who was not a member of the working press, they would have to ask to leave the press box tonight. They just didn't have room for all of them. The press box, of course, during the ball game does belong to the Baseball Writers Association. But they are jammed all over the place. Cameramen, still photographers, movie camera people, television camera people, all anticipating Brock's joining the 3,000 hit club. And it's almost a festive atmosphere. Meanwhile, Pete Vukovich, 26-year-old, hard-throwing right-hander, getting a sign from Simmons as DeJesus steps in. The windup of the first pitch. A swing and a foul out of play, and the ball game is underway. DeJesus, 4 for 18 in this series, driven in 3 runs here at St. Louis, giving him 45 for the year. Ivan batting .279 for the year with 5 homers. Vukovich next pitch, a ball low. Ball 1, strike 1. Vukovich worked 7 innings against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Delivers, fastball swung on, and a high fly down the right field foul line. George Hendrick coming over near the line. Big fella reaches up, rubs it right up the left shoulder, inside the line to the out. So there's one away, and that will bring up Scott Thompson, the rookie, hitting .336 now. His 4 for 16 here in the series. Has batted in 1 run, his 20th of the year. Scotty with 1 homer. Hendrick retreating a bit for him in right field. They have Hernandez and Oberfell on the right side of the infield. Gary Templeton is short, is shading him up the middle. Kenny Reese at third base, about 10 feet off the line. Vukovich winds, right-hander's pitch, and he takes the ball inside at the letters. With Brock in left field, and the bleachers behind him absolutely jammed. They are standing out there in the bleachers. There's a strike call and a breaking ball. It's 1-1. Vukovich, 11 and 8, allowed the Cubs 4 runs in 7 innings at Wrigley Field and suffering the loss. Strong right-hander, fastball. Missed the outside corner. It's 2-1. He leads the Cardinal staff with 108 strikeouts. 108 in 167 innings now. Completed 8 starts out of 23. Vukovich next pitch swung out a hard one hopper to Oberfell at second base. Shaw blinders up with it, and the tag to Thompson, or to first base to Hernandez retires. Scott Thompson, they're 2 gone. Hit it hard, but right at him. That will bring up Buckner. He is 4 for 15 here and has batted in 4 runs. Tonight got his 12th home run of the year. He has driven in 60 runs for the year, and Buck's batting average now stands at .294 for the year. Vukovich has yielded a lot of home runs, 17. Right-hander's first pitch, fastball, low and inside. You'd think, Lou, we were in the playoffs already or the World Series.
No doubt about it. The people started to applaud even before we got underway. They wanted some action, even booed because of the delay of the ball game.
1-0 delivery. Fastball low. Ball 2, no strikes.
This is how it should be.
Just great.
Like every day of enthusiasm galore.
They tell me that the crowds were lined up early this morning at Wrigley Field to purchase tickets for the homestand starting tomorrow against the San Francisco Giants. 2-0 pitch. Buck takes, and it's a ball. Too low. Vukovich, big and strong, 6'4", about 220. The Sox lost him in the expansion draft to the Toronto Blue Jays. He delivers, ball 4. Buckner pitches the bat away, runs down to first base, the first runner of the night.
That's about the 3rd time in this series that with 2 outs, Buckner has walked in front of Kingman, and you know that the pitcher is trying to get the ball over the plate to make Buckner hit his way on. It's amazing.
Suppose it's because he's trying too hard?
Yes, definitely. He's aiming. He's not relaxed and throwing the ball. He's aiming the ball and then praying it gets in the strike zone, and then he hits it to somebody.
Yeah. Well, come on, Dave. They've got the shift on for him. Oberfeld just a bit over on the shortstop side of the bag at second. Templeton way over in the hole is deep. In the outfield, they're out as far as they can go. First pitch. Big swing and a foul. Back on a play.
It's amazing. I could never understand in my career how a pitcher can walk a fella in front of a home run hitter and then all of a sudden find control.
Yeah. This guy's not afraid to challenge you, Vukovic. And he doesn't like it if you dig in too much. He's got a little bit of Bob Gibson in him. 0-1 delivery. Throws a breaking ball low and outside. Let's pause. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
It's 8 o'clock. Join Bob Collins Monday through Friday evenings, 7 to 9, right here on WGN Radio Chicago.
Now the stretch in the pitch. Curve low and outside. It's 2-1. Tell you the kind of a pitcher Vukovic is. With the Toronto Blue Jays expansion ball club in 1977, this guy was a .500 pitcher, 7-7. Last year with the Cards, he was 12-12. Now he's 11-8. 2-1 pitch, fastball, missed low and outside, 3-1. Well. Kingman steps back away from the plate. Now Dave strides forward into the batter's box. Getting that special dirt that they get off the Mississippi River, near the Mississippi River, gets that to his liking. Vukovic wheels and throws over to first base. Kingman again steps back out. Buckner had gotten back in plenty of time. Hernandez, of course, holding Buckner on at first. Here's the pitch. Swung on, give him a little bit of a breaking ball, and he taps a foul ball. Rolls out onto the carpet, out towards the mound. Buckner gets back to first base, and now Buck will be off and running with this pitch with 2 away. Phillies playing host to the Pirates tonight at Philadelphia. Pirates carrying an early lead in the ball game. Steve Trout shut out Baltimore through 5 innings tonight. The White Sox have a 5-0 lead in that one. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Buckner goes. Kingman swings. Rips the ground ball off the glove of the third baseman. Reach picked up by Templeton in shallow left field, and he has no play. That will be a single for Dave. Buckner stopping at second base. The Cubs have a chance to take the lead with runners at first and second, 2 gone. And Steve out of Harris will be the hitter. A blistering shot. Dave is now 6 for 18 in the series. Barris hitting .275, 4 homers, steps in. He takes it's a strike right at the knee. Batting left-handed, of course. Steve has batted in 42 runs this year, 2 of them here at St. Louis in the first 4 games of this series. Vukovic from the stretch delivers. Fastball taken inside. Ball 1, strike 1. The Cubs now in third place, 4 games behind the Pirates, and 2.5 games in front of St. Louis. 1-1 delivery. This is inside at the knees. Ball 2, strike 1. Most of the time, Vukovic will come right straight over the top at you. He lost at Wrigley Field Friday, 10 days ago, to Rick Russell, 4-2. 2-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, swung on and fouled, sharply back, out of play. 2-2. And after that, he pitched against the Mets, and he picked up a victory. Earned run average of 3.78. Fastball. Swung on and fouled, sharply back, out of play. Ball 2, strike 2. The Dodgers arrived in town late last night, and many of them out here at the ballpark tonight, including their manager, Tom Lasorda. We saw Bert Hooton earlier today. Bert is scheduled to pitch here tomorrow night. 2-2 pitch. Takes the ball. Fastball to first in at the knee. 3-2. So, Buckner at second, Kingman at first with 2 outs. Will be off and running with a 3-2 count on the hitter. The base hit to give the Cubs an early lead. Vukovic is ready. Looks at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on. He hits a high foul. It is out of play. Over behind the Cub dugout. Got a tremendous draw for this series. The Cardinals, of course, swept the first two games in the twilight doubleheader. Then the Cubs came back to win Saturday night and yesterday afternoon. Great clutch pitching performances by the Cubs. Rick Russell, Len McLaughlin got out of some real tough jams, and of course the bullpen came on to finally stifle the Cards in the late innings. The Cubs hoping now to gain a victory tonight to take this series 3 out of 5. Vukovic is ready. 3-2 pitch. The runners go. Fastball is high to load him up.
Well, it'd be nice to get out in front of these fellas.
There's something. He retired to Jesus on a high pop-up down the right field line. Got Thompson on a hard hit one hopper to the second baseman. Walked Buckner. Kingman a single off the glove of Reed. And now he has walked out of Harris to load him up. And Jerry Martin, who has not had a good series at the plate, he is 1 for 11. Steps in hitting .283 for the year. 15 homers and 59 runs batted in for Martin. Vukovic from the windup, first pitch. Swung on at a bouncing foul down the third base side. Bill Buckner over at third base. Dave Kingman out at second. And Steve Olivares at first with 2 gone in the top of the first inning. Oh, what a base hit help. Oh, that rock is so deep in left field, just a few feet in front of the warning track. Templeton very deep, shades a bit up the middle. Vukovic delivers, misses the outside corner. Ball 1, strike 1. They're playing Martin straight away. Come on, Jerry. Here's the windup, the pitch. Outside at the knees. Ball 2, strike 1. Normally, Vukovic has good control. He hasn't even averaged 2 walks a start. But he's walked 2 here in the first inning. Right-hander winds, 2-1 pitch. Swung out of this. He got him to go after a good breaking ball.
That was a big pitch for Simmons and Vukovic, coming back with a breaking pitch and threw it for a strike. The other pitch that Martin took was the one he's been chasing a lot.
Yeah.
The one that's a curveball outside.
We need a hit. Bases loaded with 2 out, top of the first, the windup 2-2 pitch. Slung out, he reaches out, taps a ground ball down the third base line, and it goes foul. Kevin. Jerry really didn't have a good cut at that one. San Francisco and the Cubs play at Wrigley Field tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then the San Diego Padres will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the Dodgers. And that will conclude the homestand. The Cubs then have to make the swing out to the West Coast. Jerry levels the bat. The windup 2-2 pitch. Ball low and outside. Backhanded by the catcher, Simmons. So again, the count is full, and Vukovic is throwing 1,000 pitches in the first inning. Looks like it is going to be an easy first one for him. With 2 out, everybody will be running. Wouldn't a base hit here be a welcome sight? Right-hander is ready. He's got to come in. Here's the pitch. Reaches out. He taps a foul over to the third base side. Pulls the outside pitch foul. And the count stays at 3-2. Olivares walking slowly back to first base. Ditto for Kingman to second. Buckner standing down at the third base line, talking with Coach Joe Malpatano and Cookie Rojas in the coach's box at first. Martin with a chance to give the Cubs a lead. Vukovic trying to stop him from doing it. Delivers. Swing and a miss. He got him a breaking ball down and away. Strikes him out and leaves the bases loaded. The end of the half inning, the Cubs threatened, but nothing happened. St. Louis coming to bat, no score. Well, Dennis Wyatt, who went the distance last Thursday at Wrigley Field to defeat the Pittsburgh Pirates had a shutout until the ninth inning, and the Cubs had given him an early lead. He won it 11-3 for his 8th win of the year. When he faced the St. Louis Cardinals, first game of the doubleheader Sunday, not yesterday, but a week ago, he gave up 2 runs in the very first inning after retiring the first 2 men. Vukovic had the same kind of a pattern here tonight, but at his good breaking ball, he struck out Jerry Martin to leave the bases loaded. The Cubs won that ball game from St. Louis 3-2, with Hernandez coming on to get the win. Now Templeton stepped in. He swings, bounced one over the pitcher's body. Jesus coming in. Can't get to him. He's safe. A bouncing single over the mound, and the speedy Templeton legs it out. Boy, I tell you, when you hit one of those slow bouncers like that, it is devastating to the opposition. When you have the kind of speed that Jerry Templeton has, you're in trouble. Now a mighty cheer goes up for Lou Brock. A standing ovation.
That's tremendous.
A tremendous crowd.
Tremendous tribute to a great man.
He's had quite a series. 6 for 12, hitting .321 for the year. Templeton goes. A swing and a tap foul. Templeton looked like he had a great jump on that ball. Jack Crow coaching at third. Del Maxville in the coach's box at first. Brock with 5 homers this year. Got one in the Cubs' first visit here this year. Hit it over the right field wall. Has 32 runs batted in this season. He cracked his bat, apparently. He's going back to the on-deck circle. Templeton now is hit safely in 15 out of his last 16 ball games. But what a streak he's been on. Going back farther than that, over the last 25 games prior to this one tonight, Templeton was hitting at a .406 clip. His .336 batting average is the second best in the league. The leader is the man in the on-deck circle, his teammate Keith Hernandez. Now Brock back into that close stance. A strike one pitch coming up. Here it is. Takes the ball outside, 1-1. 40-year-old veteran. 2,998 base hits in his career. Gripping the bat right down to the knob. Still lean and tough. Throw to first base. Templeton back in time. Templeton with 18 stolen bases for the year. 1-1 delivery. He's going. Here's the pitch swung out at a drive into left field. Kingman coming out. It's in for a base hit. Templeton going to third. Kingman held up. Thought he might have had a play at third base.
I don't know what happened on that ball. He had the runner right in front of him.
It's mystified. The ball was hit into shallow left field. Kingman got it on the first hop, a true one. He could see Templeton going from second to third. Cocked his arm, and I thought, for all the world, he was going to fire to third, and I'm sure he would have gotten him.
Leonard's taking that ball. That's 2,999. And they want that ball for some reason or other.
An opposite field single. His 7th in the series in 13 at bats. And here's the National League leading hitter, Keith Hernandez, batting .340. Left-handed. Lamp steps off the mound. Boy, no way Templeton should have been on at third base. Hernandez in the series, 10 for 17. It's way outside. Lamp appears to be ruffled. The last 23 games, Mr. Hernandez is hitting at a .411 clip. Terrifying, huh? 1-0 delivery. There's a strike. Took a little off that breaking ball. 1-1. Hernandez has batted in 5 runs in this series. 82 for the year, having just an absolutely outstanding season. Nobody out, runners at first and third, no score yet. Lamp wheels, fires over to first base. Brock, of course, is the all-time Major League champion in stolen bases with 929. Edges on to the carpet. Now, Lamp drives him back with a throw to Buckner. Dillard playing fairly deep on the carpet, almost splitting the distance between first and second for this left-handed hitter. And DeJesus shaded well up the middle. Now Lamp into the stretch. Here's the pitch. Brock goes. Hernandez swings. Ground ball left side. Behind the mound. Alvarez has no play at the plate. Goes to Buckner. Throw back to third. He slides. He's out. Brock tries to go from first to third. And Buckner, alert, wheels a fastball across the diamond. And he is nailed. DeJesus taking the throw. The Cardinals have a 1-0 lead, and Brock, returning to the dugout, is getting another standing ovation.
Yes, but let me tell you, what could be a great inning for the Cardinals now has been reduced to only one run. If Lamp can get Simmons.
What happened on that ball? It bounced slowly over the mound to the shortstop side. Alvarez cutting in on that slow bouncer, and he had nowhere to go except to first base because Templeton had a great jump on it. So the bases are empty, 2 out, and the first pitch, a ball to Simmons, who's hitting .308. He takes credit. Ball 2.
Credit to Jesus with a very fine play as Alvarez cut in front of him to make the play at first. He went right to third.
Simmons swings, bounces down to Buckner, waves Lamp away, steps to the bag himself. Simmons is retired, and the Cardinals settle for 1 run. We go to the bottom, or to the top, rather, the second inning here at St. Louis. St. Louis leading 1-0. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you at Busch Memorial Stadium. And leading off for the Cubs in the second inning will be Barry Foote. He'll be followed by Steve Dillard, the National League Player of the Week, and then Dennis Lamp. So the Cubs, after the first 2 men were retired, had a walk, a single, a walk, but left 3 men on as Vukovic on a 3-2 pitch got Martin to swing and miss on a curveball to retire the side, and now Barry Foote hitting .241, and the first pitch to him a strike. Vukovic in the windup. He delivers, and there's a ball just outside to the big right-handed hitting catcher of the Cubs. Wind the pitch. Swung on. Fouls it out of play to the first base side. 1-2. Foote in the series, 4 for 13, with 1 run batted in. 10 homers for the year for Barry, and 33 RBIs. 1-2 pitch swung on. He gets under it. It's a high fly ball to left field. That looks almost like one of Sky King's pops. Comes down to the hands of Brock, and there's 1 away. He really dipped the shoulder on that one. Here's Dillard. All he did last week to merit the National League Player of the Week award was to hit .600. 12 for 20 with 10 runs batted in and 9 runs scored. Right-hander swings, hits a ground ball off the glove of Reach, who tried to backhand it. Dillard on his way to second base. Templeton's throw, he slides. He is safe at second. Reach very casual with that ball. Fine base running, fine coaching by Cookie Rojas, who was waving him on all the way from the plate. It is a 2-base error against Kenny Reitz. He was a little nonchalant in trying to backhand that ball and went off his glove. Boy, that Dillard moves down that line faster than I thought he could, Lou. Yes, he was running hard all the way. Well, he's in scoring position with 1 out, and Dennis Lamp, the batter, who could help his own cause. Lamp batting .189 for the year, 7 hits, 1 run batted in, and he takes the first pitch of ball in too close. Pirates hit Philadelphia with 3 more in the top of the third to take a 5-1 lead at Philadelphia in the bottom of the third. Here's a swing by Dennis, ground ball. Second baseman Overfell has it. Dillard advances to third. On the ground out to second, they're 2 away. That will bring up DeJesus. We need a hit now to tie it. Pirates got 2 in the first, 3 in the third. Omar Marino homered in the first inning to lead off the ball game, hit it off Larry Christensen. That's Marino's 8th this year. In the third inning, Johnny Milner walloped a 3-run homer, his 15th of the year. It is Jim Bibby for the Pirates against Larry Christensen. One other game in the National League. Montreal at Houston, no score. The Astros batting in the bottom of the 4th inning down at the Dome. Steve Rogers against James Rodney Richard, each trying for his 11th win of the year. Ron takes and Vukovich is a little low, ball 1. Yankees lead Texas tonight 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning at Yankee Stadium. 1-0 pitch. Checks his swing. It's a strike at the knees. 1-1. Fergie Jenkins, going after his 13th win of the year, has given up a pair of homers to Greg Nettles and Oscar Gamble. Vukovich delivers. There. Ball dismissing away. Minnesota 5, Boston 1 at the end of 6. Jim Rice has hit number 31 of the year for the Red Sox. Full curve, swung on a miss. He had him way out in front. Ball 2, strike 2. Sexto Lascano has homered for Milwaukee up at County Stadium in the 2nd inning. Milwaukee leads Kansas City 1-0 in the 3rd. 19 homers now for Lascano. There's a swing by Ivan. Fouls a fastball out of play to the first base side. The White Sox 5, Baltimore 0 at the end of 6. Young Steve Trout going after his 7th win of the year. What an excellent young prospect he is. Here's the pitch. Curve outside. They thought they had him struck out. They asked for the appeal, denied by Dutch Runner coaching or umpiring at first base. I think this is the 4th batter that Vukovich has had a full count on. Curveball. He missed outside. Ivan gets the Cubs' 3rd walk of the ball game.
Let me tell you, he's putting enough men on with base on balls. He's going to be in trouble. We're going to get a base hit at the right time.
And now is the right time, Mr. Thompson. Scott Thompson stepping in. Hit a hard one-hopper right at Oberfeld, the second baseman, his first time up today. And Vukovich, bouncing the ball like he's dribbling a basketball, comes off the mound. He wants to talk with his battery mate, Ted Simmons. That's the kind of surface they have here, and this is a new carpet that they put on here. Scott started the night hitting .336 for the year. Cardinals went from Templeton went from first to third on a one-hop single to left field. Then on a slow bouncer over the mound, Brock tried to go from first to third. There's a swing and a foul back out of play, and that was costly to the Cardinals. They got the batter at first base, Hernandez. And then Buckner rifled a throw back to third to Jesus taking it, and Brock slid into the tag. Suddenly the bases were empty, and they settled for 1 run in the inning. 0-1 pitch. Pitch out. Nothing going on. Ball 1, strike 1. Cub runners at first and third. We left 3 men stranded in the first inning. 2 out here in the top of the 2nd. Vukovich is ready. Here's a pitch. Swung on, and he's out in front of that breaking ball inside on him, and he drills it foul into the seats down the first base line. Friday, when San Diego is at Wrigley Field, going to be a little pre-game action. The Happy Days crew is going to be out at Wrigley Field to play a softball game against the Media All-Stars, whose catcher and manager will be Mr. Boudreau. It'll be quite a cast of stars on that media team.
Better be able to run and catch, too.
We ought to have a little fun. Friday at noon. 1-2 pitch. Tries to hold up and he's swing at a curve down the inside. He can't do it. Rolls a little foul. Runners at first and third with 2 out. Vukovich working on Thompson. Ball 1, strike 2 pitch. Fastball slashed down the left field line. Foul out near the Cub bullpen. Among the Chicago media who are going to be there Friday at Wrigley Field to participate in that softball game, Don O'Reilly, Tim Weigel, Bob Surratt, Rick Daly, Aaron Gold, Brad Palmer, Johnny Kerr, Jack Brickhouse, Bill Donahue, Bill Berg, Arnie Harris, Bill Frink. Has some millions. There's a swing and a drive into right field. Hendrick coming over. He grabs it shoulder high. The Cubs leave 2 men on.
Well, you're going to be there too, big kid, so you got to mention your name.
I've got my coach's uniform already.
Signs all over the uniform.
Well, we're threatened again, but still have nothing but goose eggs up on the scoreboard here. And the Cardinals come to bat at the bottom of the second inning with St. Louis leading 1-0. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with him. Hendrick, tall right-hander, hitting .301. Lance first pitch, a swing out of it. Yesterday's game ended when Bruce Sutter, facing Hendrick in the 9th inning with 2 outs, got him to chase that split-fingered fastball or forkball into the dirt outside. And he did not have much of a swing. Hendrick, you could tell, wanted no part of Sutter in that situation. He takes that one for a strike. Dennis out in front of him. Nothing in 2. Waits the next pitch low and outside. Ball 1, strike 2. Hendrick in the series, 2 for 8. Driven in a run. His 54th of the year. The guy went Cleveland to San Diego to St. Louis. 9 homers this year. The stance pretty wide and slightly closed. 1-0 St. Louis. Dennis in the windup. Fly! Called a fastball over the outside corner. Caught Hendrick napping. 83rd strikeout of the year by Dennis. Now the 26-year-old right-hander faces Jerry Mumphrey, the switch hitter. As a left-hander, Mumphrey is batting .374. And in this series, he's 7 for 16 with 4 runs batted in. There's a swing and a bouncing ball back to second base. Gets by DeJesus, gets by Dillard, goes in the carpet to center field. Barton's got to pick it up, drops it, retrieves it in a hurry. Thank heaven the runner, Mumphrey, had come to a stop after rounding first base, or he might have been at second.
Another seeing eye hit, isn't it, though? Put that ball in front of that plate, it bounces 10, 12, 15 feet in the air. If it takes another bounce, they're on first.
Yeah.
Because it has that overspin. It just bounces high.
Got to be frustrated. Here's Reitz. Now, overlooked here in all the hubbub about the achievement of Lou Brock, who, by the way, only needs 1 more hit now to reach the 3,000 mark. Reitz has 999 hits in his major league career. This year, batting .263. He takes and Lamp fires a strike over the outside corner. And was Brock yesterday called it to the attention of the Cardinals front office. He said, hey, my teammate, Reitz, next time he gets a hit, that's marks number 1,000 for him. They still have not taken notice of it in their press notes. 0-2 pitch, all outside. Maybe they feel it would be slightly distracting to the achievement of Brock getting his 3,000. I don't think it would detract at all. Might even make it more memorable. 1 out, a man at first base. Bottom of the second. That delivers, the runner goes, and the hit and run a drive to right field. Coming on hard to Stopson. Can he make the catch? He will, and that will be an easy double play. Because Mumphrey is almost all the way to third base. So the Cardinals run themselves out of this inning. That's the second one of the night for the Cubs. The second twin killing at 111 down for the year. All right, maybe things are going to get better. We go to the third with St. Louis leading 1-0.
Buckner, Kingman, and Altaveras here in the third inning. Another crowd, over 40,000 here. Curveball swing. There's one hit deep to center field. Mumphrey going back on the warning track, still going back, reaches up and makes the catch, and then protects himself from hitting the wall. Boy, oh boy, if Buckner could have pulled that one just a trifle, it would have been out of the ballpark. That one was hit close to 390 feet away from home plate. But it's a long out. 1 out, and here's Kingman at bat. Singled off of the glove of Reitz at third base in the first inning. He represents the tying run for the Cubs. The shift is on. First pitch. Fastball for a strike right down the middle, and it seemed like Vukovich got a little extra on that one. Didn't want to take any chances. He just wanted to fire the ball as hard as he could. One strike pitch. Outside, 1-1 the count. Rock singled. First time at bat. He needs one for his 3,000th hit. The pitch to Kingman. Swing and a miss. Another fastball, and Vukovich turned completely around after he released that one. He had every ounce of energy on that overhand fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch on its way. Fastball popped foul, and Kingman was ready for that one. He just got under it and fouls it back to the screen. 1-2 the count. Nobody on base. 1 out. Cardinals lead 1-0. Kingman taking his time, touches that bat about 2 or 3 feet in front of the plate. Now he sets. Vukovich has his sign. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball tapped to foul. There was the curveball outside away from him, and Kingman, with great strength, as you know, once he starts that speed of that bat, carries it through, but fortunately that time he tapped the ball foul. He gets another chance. Vukovich shakes his head yes. The windup and pitch. Outside curveball, and he fouls it back to the screen by reaching after that one. Once they get 2 strikes on Kingman, that's what they'll give him. Breaking pitches away or let up on it. But he has disciplined himself so well this year that he either fouls that pitch off or drives it for a single. Here's the pitch. Let up. Outside. 2-2. That was the let up. Now with a 2-2 count, Kingman will be looking for a strike. Vukovich holds that ball in the glove in front of him. Now he goes up into the windup, and here's the pitch. Fastball swinging a drive into left field for a base hit. Mumphrey over into left center. Gets that ball in quickly. So Kingman waits for that fastball. He gets it. It was outside, and he just drilled it in between Templeton and Oberfeld, between the second base bag and the third base bag, right through the shift. That's 2 for 2 for Kingman. The second hit off Vukovich. Kingman has both of them. Now here's Altaveras, who walked in the first inning. Cubs loaded the bases up in the first, but couldn't score. Fastball for a strike over the outside corner. Kingman on first. Hernandez holding him on. Now Kingman takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Fastball over the outside corner for a strike ball. 2 strikes on Altaveras, as Vukovich is threading the needle over that outside corner. Altaveras can't believe it. He's out of the batter's box. Now he steps back in. Vukovich goes into the stretch. Here's the pitch. Another one over there. But that one was low. Ball 1, strike 2. 1 out. Kingman on first. He represents the tying run. The pitch to Altaveras. Fastball, low, ball 2, strike 2. Both Simmons and Vukovich wanted that pitch, but it was too low. Over the plate outside, but too low. Keeping the ball away from Altaveras with a man on first. But now let's see. He has to come in the strike zone or go to a full count. The pitch is on its way. Fastball outside, ball 3. Simmons wants to have a chat with Vukovich as he's being actually too careful in putting that ball over the outside of the plate. So Simmons has a chat with his pitcher. On the 3-2 pitch, Kingman may be off toward second base. They're still having quite a conversation on the AstroTurf in front of the mound, so perhaps Vukovich does not agree with Simmons, or vice versa. But Simmons now returns to his position. Ball 3, strike 2, 1 out. Simmons on first. Third inning. The stretch by Vukovich. The pitch, curveball, swinging a fly ball to center field. Mumphrey's there calling for it. He's under it. He has it. Kingman returns to first base. They curved Arnaveras on a 3-2 pitch, and this has been the payoff pitch for Vukovich. Throwing curveballs when he's behind the hitter, and he has to be behind the hitter with a ball 3-2 strike count. But he's been perfect thus far with that breaking pitch at a particular situation. 2 outs, and here's Martin at bat. Curveball him 3-2 and struck him out. Swing, ground ball through the middle of the diamond. Templeton has it behind second. Cannot make the play. Tosses the ball inside the diamond. Vukovich has it. As Templeton went behind second base, drove the ball one-handed, then sort of back-flipped it to Overfelt, but missed Overfelt. It went down the first base line, and Vukovich picked it up before Kingman could advance. So Martin gets an infield hit. Kingman advances to second, and now with runners on first and second, and 2 outs, here's Barry Foote. Flied out to Brock in the second inning. First pitch gets away from Simmons. There goes Kingman. Throw to third in time. He's out. Kingman must have thought the ball was going to roll far away from Simmons. It did not get out of the dirt area, and Simmons picked it up, fired to Reed, and Kingman is a dead duck trying to advance. Third inning, no runs, 2 hits, 1 man left on base. Cardinals come to bat, third inning, leading 1-0. All right, Lamp in the third inning will face Overfeld, and then Vukovich in the top of the order. And everybody sitting on the edge of their chairs and seats waiting for Brock to come to bat because he needs 1 hit to make the coveted plateau of 3,000 career hits. But now here is Overfeld at bat. First pitch by Lamp, strike call. Overfeld is hitting .309, 1 home run, 20 RBI. We're in the third inning. Pitch on the way. Strike called over the outside corner. Strike 2 to Overfeld. The pitch on its way. It's into the dirt. Gets past Foote. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cardinals lead 1-0. They have 1 run on 3 hits. Cubs no runs on 3 hits. 1-2 pitch on its way. Outside, ball 2. Pitcher Vukovich due up next. 2-2 pitch by Lamp. Curveball, swing, ground ball to Jesus. He has it, straightens up, fires to Buckner, 1 out. 1 away, and here's Vukovich. 2 RBIs for the pitcher. Houston 4, Montreal nothing at the end of 5. Pittsburgh 5, Philadelphia 1 at the end of 4. Minnesota 5, Boston 5 at the end of 7. White Sox 6, Baltimore nothing at the end of 7. Here's the first pitch by Lamp. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Texas 2, the Yankees 2 at the end of 7. At the end of 4, Kansas City 2, Milwaukee 2. 1 strike pitch. Curveball outside. 1-1 to count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lamp into the windup. The pitch on its way. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 out here in the third inning. Each team with some faulty base running. Swing and a tap foul down the third base line. Count remains 1-2. Vukovich will be followed by Templeton at the top of the order. The pitch on its way. Curveball, swing and a miss. Vukovich strikes out. Second strikeout for Lamp. So now here is Templeton, who got an infield hit, first time at bat, chopping that ball at the plate, and it went clear over Lamp's head behind second base, and he beat it out for a base hit. The pitch to Templeton is a strike call. 2 outs, third inning. Cardinals lead 1-0. Lamp studies the sign. He has it. Here's the pitch. Curveball low. As Templeton ducked right underneath that curveball, following it down low below his knees. It's now 1 ball, 1 strike. A wind-up and pitch by Lamp as he's working quickly. Here's a swing and a high fly ball. Center field, Martin is there. He's under it. Squeezes it for the out. The Cardinals go down 1-2-3 in the third inning. At the end of 3, it's Cardinals 1, Cubs nothing. In the fourth inning, the Cubs will send Foote, Dillard, and Lamp, 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters in Herman Franks' lineup. Cardinals lead by 1 run, 1-0. Foote was at bat when that ball jumped out of Simmons' glove, and Kingman tried to advance to third on the play and was thrown out easily. So now, Foote leads off the fourth inning. First pitch on the way by Vukovich. Swing and a miss on a fastball away from him. Strike 1. Kingman and Smith still tied with 39 home runs in the National League for the leadership in that department. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball as once again Foote dips that back shoulder and hits one high in the air. Templeton back in the left field and makes the catch. Now here's Dillard, safe on Rietz's air. First time at bat. Once again, Simmons and Vukovich having a conversation. They want to be sure to know how each one thinks it's the best way to retire Dillard. He's been hot. National League Player of the Week for the Cubs. First pitch, curveball outside, and he swings and misses. And that's what Simmons was telling him. Don't give him a fastball on the first ball pitched. He hit one out on Thomas on the first fastball thrown to him. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Another curveball outside, taken by Dillard. 1-1 to count. 1-1 pitch. Fastball tapped down to Reitz. He has it on 1 hop. Straightens up, fires the first. Dillard going down that line fast is thrown out. 2 outs now. Here's Lamp. Lamp grounded out to Oberfeld. Both pitchers working quickly tonight. Lamp, that's right-handed as he pitches. Here's the first pitch by Vukovich. Popped up behind the mound. Templeton coming in, calling for it, still coming in. Has it. 3 outs in the fourth inning. Cubs go down 1-2-3. Now the crowd starts chanting Lou as Rubach is going to lead off the fourth inning. Cardinals lead 1-0.
McDonald's now through August 26th.
Well, you can feel the electricity here in Busch Stadium. This crowd standing, not only giving Brock an ovation, but hollering, Lou, Lou, Lou. This could be it. He needs 1 hit to reach the 3,000th career hit plateau. He's talking to his friend Hernandez in the on-deck circle right now. You know that there has to be goose pimples going right through his body.
Well, I'll tell you this, Lou. I got him going through mine.
Mine, too. They're standing out. And he's announced, and everybody, and I believe this, even the Cub fans are standing right now. What a applause for this man.
A great moment.
You know, I believe that most of them are going to remain standing with Lou Brock taking his position in the batter's box. swinging a foul off of the glove of Barry Foote.
I know this. If he were in a Cub uniform at Wrigley Field in this kind of a moment, nobody would be sitting.
Nobody would hear us either.
No.
Brock out of the batter's box. Steps back in with that familiar closed stance. Dennis Lamp looking into Barry Foote has a sign. Here's the windup, the one-strike pitch. Swing and another foul as Brock is not taking anything close to the plate. 2 strikes. Now Lou Brock. Cubs are playing him straight away. He singled to left his first time at bat. He has 2,999 base hits in his career. And once again, the St. Louis fans, some Cub fans, cheering Brock on. The windup by Dennis Lamp. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Ball 1, strike 2. Cardinals lead 1-0. We're in the 4th inning. Brock leading off the 4th inning. The pitch is on its way. There's one that knocks him back away from the plate, and the crowd boos. This is baseball. He's going to earn it if he gets it. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ball off of the pitcher. Here's a base hit. Lou Brock has 3,000 hits of his career. The ball is off of Lamp, who is hurt. The entire Cardinal team is on the field. Time will be called, but more important is Dennis Lamp, who I think was hit on his hand. He might have a broken finger.
It did get him right on the hand, Lou, and he's in terrible pain right now. He's being let off the field immediately by trainer Tony Garoppolo. All of the Cardinals, the bullpen crew, the entire squad are mobbing Brock around first base. Stan Musial, who got his 3,000th base hit, Bo Grabowski of the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field in a pinch hitting role, is here. He and Augie Busch Jr. are on the field. Look at the photographers and newsreel men, cameramen. They are just now breaking up their entire group around first base. It was a line drive, hit right back at Lamp. He turned to the right, but the ball hit him on his hand or finger. I'm quite sure that it's dislocated because he is in the clubhouse now getting repairs, and Boyer is asking the umpire about Lamp and also about the baseball. There was no play whatsoever on the particular hit, and Brock is being interviewed right now at first base.
We are going to be able to pick up some of these ceremonies here. Roger, let me have this.
Right now, Brock is being interviewed at first base. When the ceremony starts, Vince has another microphone and will take over. Whenever you're ready, good kid, you go ahead.
All right. As soon as we hear anything on this public address system, we will join them. It's a beautiful plaque. I saw it down in front of Lou's locker tonight before the ball game, commemorating this great event in his life.
There must be 25 or 30 photographers, newspapermen around Brock at first base.
I am wondering, Lou, and I don't mean to detract one iota from the significance of this achievement by Brock, but I'm wondering what Herman Frank's argument was with the umpire while Brock was being mobbed down here at first base by his teammates and all of the media.
The only argument I can say is that there were so many people coming out onto that field that he didn't have time to protect his own ball player. He has a complaint there. There's no doubt about it. Because it was after the swarm of photographers and the swarm of newspaper men went on this field that the Cubs were able to get to Lamp.
We had not heard a word on the public address system. We were told that there were going to be presentations made by Stan Musial and by Mr. Bush. But if they made such announcements or any addresses down there, I didn't hear them. Our engineer, Roger Farmer, was prepared here for a pickup, didn't hear them. Now maybe they're going to get it. There's Stan. There's Musial. And there's Mr. Bush hugging Lou Brock. Mr. Bush just came on the field and gave Lou Brock a bear hug. I'm quite sure they're going to have to bring the microphone out on the field.
They better.
But they're going to let the photographers have their day or night right now. The fans are standing.
Point out here that there have been a lot of balloons. There have been a lot of debris thrown out from the bleachers, both in right and left center field, out of the field. There are many, many ushers out there. They are lined up, about 10 yards apart, facing to the bleachers to prevent anybody from coming out of there onto the field. Now, let's pick up the ceremonies and this achievement of Lou Brock.
The Cardinals to achieve 3,000 hits. Stan the Man Musial, who is now presenting Lou with the ball that he hit for his 3,000 hits.
Oh, it's announced that Stan and Lou are together down there. Well, that's 6,630 hits.
Congratulations, Lou. You're the 14th ball player to get 3,000 hits, which is an outstanding record in baseball. We know the Cardinals are very proud of you. I know your fans all over, the Cardinal fans all over, want to wish you congratulations, and we do too. Thank you very much.
Evidently, Bob.
Cardinal president and chairman of the board, August A. Bush, who will present Lou with a plaque from the Cardinals. Mr. Bush. 3 million thanks, Lou. For winning this and give me the credit for this plaque to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, they had the plaque already.
And now, how about a few words from the man of this and every other hour, Lou Brock.
Let's do all of this, Jack. He did it against the club. They literally signed it.
It seems to tough when you're on the field in the middle of a ball game and you have to speak in the microphone. I'd like to thank everybody here tonight, and of course my family who is here tonight, my wife who just got out of surgery. She can't sit up, but she's here tonight too, and I know there's occasions that she didn't want to miss. But nevertheless, I think that the fans here in St. Louis deserve to see 3,000 hits. Stan, you came extremely close here. Mr. Bush had said to me some time ago, you're going to do it here. And I said, I am. But nevertheless, the way things turned out, it did happen here. I am happy it did. And I'm glad to know that fans of St. Louis got a chance to see 3,000 hits. I tell you, I was the first one in line as a fan to see it myself. I never saw it happen before, so I'm glad to be part of it. Thank you. Great.
I'm not sure who that was we picked up there. Maybe one of the Cardinal broadcasters. It sounded like one of the Cardinal broadcasters.
Wasn't Jack Buck, I know. They're still taking pictures of Stan Musial, and what a coincidence that we had Musial's 3,000th base hit in Chicago,
right.
And we still have tonight one of the memorable moments I know for myself and also for Vince of Lou Brock getting his 3,000th base hit off of Dennis Lamp. We're only hoping that Dennis Lamp was not hurt seriously with that line drive right back to him with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. He turned to his left and the ball hit his right hand, his pitching hand. Lamp went down to his knees. But by the time the trainer and the Cubs could get to Lamp, there must have been 50 reporters, newspapermen, and television cameramen on the field.
It was one of those rare moments when you have 2 completely separate dramas unfolding instantaneously on the field. The drama of Lou Brock's 3,000th hit. A flashing line drive off the hand of the pitcher. The ball caromed all the way over to the third base area. There could be no play on Brock. Immediately, Lamp went to his knees. He was in pain. And Garofalo, the trainer, got out there
as quickly as he possibly could. There was no delay. They immediately led Lamp off the field into the clubhouse. And while the ceremonies have been going on, young Doug Capella, a left-hander, has been out on the mound throwing. The only regret we have about it, Lou, is doggone it, the ball did hit our pitcher, Lamp, and we only hope that he's not going to be seriously hurt, but I don't see how he can help.
Oh, listen, Vince, the way he went off the field is threw his cap down. He seemed in disgust and also in pain.
Yeah.
This is the only reason, and I'm just speculating that either a finger is dislocated or hopefully, I hope not, broken. But nevertheless, I think Jim Davidovich has gone over to the press box and will try to get a phone call from Tony Garoppolo and find out just how serious that injury is.
I see Mike Rook, our pitching coach in the Cub dugout now, on the telephone. I presume that he is talking to the press box here, giving him the information about the injured Dennis. I just have a terrible feeling that he had to have some kind of a break, either in the finger or in a bone in the hand, because he was really in such tremendous pain instantly.
And it's amazing how everybody's eyes and everybody's head was to block.
Yeah.
And I think that was the complaint that Herman Franks had, that they couldn't get to their pitcher to give him immediately first aid if it was needed. Now Capella is going to replace Lamp. Lou Brock is still in the dugout. There are ushers all over this field. They're cleaning up the debris in left field. And this game will probably get underway in maybe in 4 or 5 minutes. The Cubs have taken their position on the field, but let me tell you, there must be 50 Andy Frame ushers that have circled this field, and they've done a great job.
Yes, they have. Nobody that we have seen, no spectator, has tried to interfere by getting out onto the field. Members of the ground crew right now are busy cleaning up the debris, and the immediate enthusiasm from those bleacher fans, they let fly with beer cups, with wrappers, with anything and everything of paper or a similar substance, and it went flying out onto the field the moment they saw Brock reach first base with that hit.
Vince, this is what these people came for tonight.
Yeah.
They, as you mentioned, they lined up at 9:30 this morning, buying tickets, hoping that Brock would get his 3,000th hit. He got it. The Cardinals are only leading by 1 run. We are in the 4th inning. But now it's going to be up to our bullpen to keep them within our reach.
I'm thinking of the irony of the pitch, the previous pitch, Lou, that almost hit him, that knocked him down.
Yes.
And then he came right back with the very next pitch, and that's when he hit that vicious liner right back out to the mound.
Well, Lamp and Foote was trying to set up that curveball away from him, which is what he hit.
Yeah.
And they came inside with that fastball. He went down to his knees, but he got right back up, and in his familiar close stance, he wasn't going to take a pitch. And he hit it very well. There was a line drive. There was no doubt about it.
I know they had talked before the game. They were setting up an interview room, and they announced just prior to the start of the game in the press box where that interview room was to be. But I am surprised. I thought they were talking about interviews with Lou after the game or once he was taken out of the game, if that occurred. I find it hard to believe that they're doing it right now. Now, if Capella is ready, and we can get this field ready down here.
You know, they may take Lou out of the lineup for these interviews.
That's very possible.
Because they're waiting, and he has not come out of the dugout. I don't even know whether he's in the dugout or not, but all the photographers, all the newsreel cameramen, and all the reporters are either in the dugout or they're in the room where they're going to interview Lou. I don't know.
He is not visible here. We can look into the Cub dugout. Looking into the Cardinal dugout behind first base, we see nothing unless somebody gets out in front of it. We just look right down to that solid roof of the dugout. We see Coach Maxwell right now, Dell coming up, waiting to see whether or not we're going to have Brock in there or are we going to have a pinch runner for him. Doug Capella is obviously ready, but the field is not yet ready. They still have members of the groundskeeping crew sweeping and picking up the debris that littered the outfield in front of the bleachers, both in left and right field.
And the Cubs are in their position waiting. They're ready.
Yeah.
Capella's ready.
This is not to take anything away from Lou Brock's achievement, but this is an unnecessary delay, really. I don't know how long it's been since that ball came off his bat and smashing into the hand of Dennis Lamp, who is out of the action, and we hope that it's not going to be a serious injury.
It must be over 30 minutes, Vince, in my opinion, of the interview, and the entire Cardinal team left that dugout and really surrounded Lou Brock, along with Stan Musial, and then later on, Mr. Augie Bush came down and really put a bear hug on.
He sure did. Stan was excited tonight. Before the game, we ran into him in the press box. He still looks neat and trim and dapper, and of course a highly successful businessman for many, many years, and still associated with the Cardinal Ball Club. Real estate holdings, hotels, restaurants in Florida, restaurants here in this area, St. Louis. But he has been sitting with Mr. Bush in the presidential box right next to the Cardinal dugout, and both went out there immediately. And since then, Brock has not reappeared.
That was the fourth hit off Lamp. Now Capilla is the new pitcher. Hernandez is the head hitter. Nobody out. Brock is on first. The first pitch now to Hernandez. Fastball high, ball one. Cardinals lead to get back to the ball game. 1-0. They scored 1 run in the first inning. We are in the last of the fourth inning. Brock has led off the inning with his base hit. Capilla checks him. Here's the pitch. Curveball swings, ground ball. Buckner has it. Throws it to Jesus. Capilla late and covering first. Hernandez beat Capilla to first base. But Brock is forced at second base. He has to be an excited individual. What a great feat. 3,000 career base hits. Do you realize that I think there's only, he's the 14th man to reach that plateau? Do you realize how he has to stay away from injuries? The number of at-bats? Tremendous. Here's the pitch on the way to Simmons. Ball low.
We were talking about that today with some fans, Lou, but you either have to have an unusual kind of body along with great good fortune to even be on the scene long enough to come close to collecting that many hits, in addition to the skills that you have.
Absolutely. The pitch on its way. Simmons takes the curveball outside, ball 2. How many times has he carried that bat to the plate? How many times did he get knocked out or hit in his career? Ball 2 pitch. Curveball high. Ball 3, no strike to Simmons.
Don't know that he's ever had a serious injury.
And the number of stolen bases that he has, the number of times he's had to slide, or the throws that might hit him from the catcher. It's just a marvelous feat.
How many times did he hit a wall trying for an outfield
Right.
pitch?
There's a fastball for a strike. Hank Aaron hit 3,771. Musial 3,630th. Ty Cobb is high with 4,191 hits. There goes the runner. He's picked off. Buckner's throw to Dillard. It hits the runner in the back, and Hernandez is safe. It's an error on Buckner. Now, normally, a shortstop will take that throw, which makes it a better angle, because the shortstop stays on the inside or the third base side of the bag. But with Simmons at bat, Dillard broke over there, and Buckner's throw hit Hernandez in the back for an error. Curveball for a strike. It's 3-2. Simmons is batting with 1 out. Capilla in relief of Lamp, who was injured on the 3,000th career hit of Brock when the line drive went right back to Lamp and he couldn't handle it, and it went off of his right hand or right fingers. the count is ball 3, strike 2 to Capilla. 1 out. Hernandez at second base. Simmons the hitter. The pitch from Capilla. Swing and a foul. Back to the screen. The count remains 3-2.
We were just talking with Jimmy Davidovich, your traveling secretary, and he said that the doctor is there with our trainer, Tony Garofalo, checking Dennis Lamp, and as soon as he finishes that
preliminary examination, would you say?
Examination, he's going to call the press box, and we'll know what.
Strike 3 called on Simmons, taking a fastball right down the middle. So now with 2 outs, here's Hendricks.
Davidovich was just paged now in the press box.
I would say, Vince, that after the preliminary examinations, they may determine the injury to a certain extent, but he's going to have to go to the hospital for x-rays unless they have an x-ray machine here in Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
2 outs. Capilla trying to save that run at second base. First pitch to Hendricks. Curveball, swing, ground ball. Pass Dillard into center field, base hit. Here comes Hernandez to score. The Cardinals lead 2-0. Well, let me tell you that Hendricks is a tough hitter with left-handers. Our right-handed pitching has done well with him.
Messing up that pickoff is really backfired.
Absolutely. That run is charged against Lamp. Hendricks' 55th RBI. Now here's Mumphrey at bat. The switch hitter now will bat right-handed against Capilla. Cardinals out in front 2-0. Scoring with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. First pitch on its way. Fastball inside, ball 1. Hendricks at first. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-ball pitch. Swing. Checks the swing. They ask for the appeal, and Leonard gives it to the Cardinals. So it's ball 2. No strikes. So history was made here at Busch Stadium tonight. With over 40,000 fans, I would judge, witnessing Lou Brock's great feat. Swing and a miss. Ball 2, strike 1. Getting his 3,000th career base hit. 2 for 2 tonight. The first 2 appearances at the plate, he singled. Ball 2, strike 1 pitch on the way. Swing and a ground ball, base hit right field. And Hendricks will stop at second base. Mumphrey just poked that ball to right field for a base hit. His second hit of the night. The second hit off of Capilla. Young Bill Caudle throwing now for the Cubs down the left field line. And here's Reitz. And he needs 1 hit to reach the 1,000th plateau. Capilla has a sign. Cardinal runners on first and second with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Kenny Reitz. It's high, ball 1. At the end of 6, Pittsburgh 5, Philadelphia 1. At the end of 6, Houston 4, Montreal nothing. Capilla sets the pitch. Swinging a ground ball back to the left-hander. Capilla has a toss at the Buckner for the out. But in the play, Cardinals 2, Cubs nothing.
So you think that little pint-sized import you've been looking at is going to save you big bucks at your gas pump? It won't.
Kenny Boyer just made a very fine move. After Brock had gone out to take his position in left field, we were to start the 5th inning. Boyer removed Brock. He had already had a big ovation, especially from the bleacher fans. And then when he was removed, taken out of the ball game, he got a tremendous ovation. And finally, when Lou approached the Cardinal dugout behind first base, he took off that red cap in acknowledgement of the ovation from these fans. But Tony Scott moves into center field, and Mumphrey moves to left.
achieved a goal of 3,000 hits. And he's not through yet. Although he says this will be his final year. Now we have the top of the batting order up in a 2-0 ball game. Vukovic's first pitch to Ivan de Jesus, and he takes the ball a little bit low. Ivan walked in the second inning, flied out to the right field, his first time at bat, takes the fastball in too close. Cubs with 3 hits, loaded the bases in the first, had 2 men on in the second inning, 1 in the third, 1 down in order in the fourth. There is a ball too high, 3-0. We're down just by 2 runs, starting inning number 5. Right-hander delivers 3-0 pitch. Fastball for the strike call. Ivan was taking all the way. No report yet on the extent of the injury to Dennis Lamp. Line up 3-1 delivery. Kicks ball 4 too low. All right, flying run comes to the plate. It's Scott Thompson now. That is the 4th walk that Vukovic has given up tonight. And he's normally a good control pitcher. See if we can't take advantage of this Robbins. Rock has achieved his 3,000th hit. Nothing against him. Just hope he gets it in a losing cause. Thompson tonight has hit the ball hard twice, but he's 0 for 2. The first pitch way outside and high. Ball one, a fastball. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you. Oddly enough, Rock, who came up through the Cub ranks, was traded here to the Cardinals, 64. His 2,000th base hit came off a Cub pitcher, Larry Gura, now with Kansas City. Now he's 3,000th off Dennis Lamp. Well, that's pretty encouraging news on Dennis Lamp. Here's a strike call. And snap throw to first base to Jesus back in time. He suffered a severe bruise on the right hand. X-rays so far do not indicate a break on one pitch. The ball in for a strike, 1 and 2. The thing you have to be concerned about, of course, there are so many small bones in the hand and also in the feet, and he took a real sharp blow in the hand. 1-2 pitch. Fastball is low and inside. It's 2 and 2. And while the preliminary report on Dennis is that he did not suffer a break in the hand, but a very severe bruise, that alone could put him out of action for a while. Here's the stretch. Baseball play.
Great music from Chicago with Jay Andres beginning at 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. right here on WGN Radio Chicago.
Buckner in the batter's box. Runner at first. Takes, and there's the ball in too close. Buckner walked with 2 out in the first inning. Hit a drive deep to center field in the third when he let off, and it was hauled in by Mumphrey, who's now playing in left. 2-0. Cardinals have the lead. Rubber game the series. Fastball swung on, and he drills it, but it's foul. Way down the right field line. What a shot. Boy, that would have tied it up. Hit it about 20 feet foul down the right field line. And that went into that area above and behind the outfield wall where a lot of the young guys, particularly, are standing tonight. The same thing down the left field line. Bleachers are jam-packed. Just missed a 2-run line drive homer. And the count goes to 1-1. Severe contusion in the right hand of Dennis Lamp. Jesus could lead. Buckner swings, slaps a ground ball to reach the third. He goes to second 1. Oberfeld's relay bounces into first base too late. And Ivan went in, and he really took out Oberfeld. They're arguing that he went out of the base path to get Oberfeld.
Templeton was really arguing about it, but De Jesus did a great job.
He didn't go as far out as Mike Shannon did here one night.
Oh, remember that?
Well, he took Beckert out.
He put a football block in the Beckert.
Yeah.
Beckert was over in about 10 yards away from the field.
Mike was mad because he thought he had a double. When he saw the ball at the second base ahead of him, he played quarterback at the Missouri. He just put his shoulders down, and he threw a tremendous clock in the bench. I think he was out of action for a week after that. 2 out. Here's Dave Kingman. Come on, boy. Get a hold of one. Takes the first pitch of ball. Dave tonight has 2 singles, one off the glove of Reitz and one into left center field. 2 gone, runner out at first base. 2-0, St. Louis in the 5th. Vukovich's pitch. Ball low and outside, a breaking ball again. What they say on those preliminary reports from the X-rays, see, those X-ray pictures are still damp. And the first report, as the doctors read them here, was that there was no break. And when they dry and they get a better look at them, let's hope it's still the same. There's a wild swing and a miss by Dave, who shakes his head at himself. He knew he was had with that pitch, but he was just anxious on 2-0. And you can't blame him. We hope when those X-rays are dry, we'll still have a report that there was no break. 2-1 delivery. Fastball, and Vukovic just missed at the knees. Ball 3, strike 1. But a sharp line drive off the bat of Brock, his 3,000th hit. Hit Dennis Lamp in the fingers of the right-hander's pitching end. 3-1 pitch. Out in front of it, gets under it, sends a soaring shot foul way down the left field side. Ooh, was he out in front of it. About 10 times this year, maybe 11, Kingman has homered with 2 strikes on him. And the count now is full. So Buckner at first base will be off with this pitch. There he goes. Here's the delivery. Swung out. He gets under. Hits a high foul. That's into the upper deck just over our heads. Cubs with only 3 singles. An infield single by Martin, an infield single by Kingman, and a line shot off the bat of Kingman. And 4 Cubs have received walks. Jesus twice, Buckner once, Olivares once. 2 Cubs have fanned, Martin and Thompson. 3-2 delivery. Run out, and this 3 Cubs have fanned. We go to the Cardinal half of the 5th inning. St. Louis leading 2-0. Now true.
All right, Brock has had his fun. Now let's go get a few runs and win this ball game. The Cardinals with 59 victories, and the Cubs with 61. St. Louis 55 defeats, the Cubs 52. And Steve Olivares, who has walked tonight and flied to center field, steps in. He's not had a great series here at the plate. He's 3 for 16. Oh, Pete Vukovic. First pitch of the change. It's very behind outside, ball 1. Tomorrow night, the Cardinals open up a series against the Dodgers. There's a strike called on a breaking ball, 1-1. Several of the Dodgers, including your manager, Tom Lasorda, are here watching the ball game. 1-1 pitch. Strike at the knees on Olivares. Not at all happy with that call. He thought it was too low. 1-2. Makes a difference. And it's tomorrow night that Brock will receive an official gift from the ball club. Fastball swung on, base hit, attaboy. Drilled it through the left side between Reitz and Templeton. It's a little mad. He
swings that bat pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes, he does. If we can get these Cardinal starters out of the ball game, they do not have the bullpen that we have. And this is why 2 runs, I don't believe will beat us tonight. Wilkovich will have to go very hard. He wants to beat us with 2 runs.
And he's had to throw an awful lot of pitches, though.
True. He should be weakening.
He now faces Jerry Martin, whom he struck out in the first inning to leave the bases loaded. Jerry takes, and there's a strike.
He's a strong fellow out there, I don't think he isn't. He still has great stuff.
Good bulldog. Shook off a sign, apparently, from Simmons. Now he goes into the stretch out of Bears. Full lead. There's a change, and he's outside with it. Ball 1, strike 1. Rock got his 3,000th major league hit.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Here he swings, double play ball. Shortstop, Templeton. Over to Overfell, the relay. Easy double play. Get it right up.
Cardinals with 120 double plays for the year. The bases are empty, and Barry Foote, who twice tonight has been trying to hit the ball out of the park. You can see him dip that right shoulder is, and he's hitting sky-high pop-ups. Steps into the batter's box. How about a line drive? Dillard in the on-deck circle. Vukovic delivers. Ball is just outside the knees to Barry. Mike Krukow is scheduled to go tomorrow against the Giants at Wrigley Field. The ball low and outside. It's 2-0. And John Curtis, a left-hander, the probable starter for San Francisco tomorrow. And then the Cub, John Montefusco, 2-0 pitch. And he's up a little bit on him. He got a piece of it, fouled it back out of play, 2-1. And then another left-hander, Bob Knepper, is a probable Giant pitcher against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. The big question mark in our minds right now is how long is Dennis Lamp going to be out of action? 2-1 pitch, swung on, and a very high pop-up shallow center field. Here comes Tony Scott in. Makes the catch about 100 feet behind second base. In the 6th inning, a hit, but a double play. And we move into the bottom of the 6th. The Cards still lead. 2-0. It is going to be Keith Hernandez, who hit into a double play. Actually, he didn't hit into it. Brock ran into it. What had happened in that first inning? Templeton got that infield single. Then Brock got his first hit of the night at number 2,999 in his career. A solid shot into left field. And then Hernandez hit a ground ball to Olivares at third. Rifled across the infield to Buckner. Now, Brock tried to go from first to third on it, while Templeton was scoring from third base. And Buckner alert, De Jesus alert. There's a big swing and a tap foul at the plate by Keith. De Jesus came over to cover at third base, and Buckner shot to him a good fastball. Nailed Brock trying to go from first to third. So a run scored, but all of a sudden the bases were empty and there were 2 gone. Hernandez reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. Looked like there's a foul back out of play. Looked like the Cubs had him picked up after getting on when he forced Brock in the 4th inning. 0-2 pitch, swung on, a line shot into center field. A diving attempt by Martin. It's off his glove. Hernandez gets up, goes to second to throw. Doolin. Sinking liner. Let me tell you, it's a good thing that ball didn't get any farther away from Jerry than it did.
Yes, I thought it was going to roll to the 10.
And he looks upset with himself out there. It's a double for Hernandez. Looked like they had him picked up, it was hard to say. I don't know, Lober, what... Capella didn't start that pickoff move the wrong way. I thought had either run at him or thrown to second when the runner was scoring, they might have had him.
Now, wait a minute. You mean Buckner? Noah has only one move to pick him off first. You mean Buckner could have come on the inside of the baseline and then thrown the ball?
Possibly, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But he stayed put, and then I think he was worried about the Cardinal runner's speed for some reason or other, because he threw right from a standing position,
which he doesn't do.
That's right. You're correct.
And anyway, Capella, Hernandez got out of the rundown, arrived at second safe when Buckner's throw hit him. And then he was able to score on Hendricks' single. Run was not earned, but it sure does count. And now Hernandez at second base with nobody out, and a count of ball one, strike one. And Simmons batting right-handed against Capella. Goes after a high pitch and chops a foul down the third base line. Simmons grounded out to Buckner to end the first inning and struck out against Capella in the fourth. Look at second, the kick, the 1-2 pitch. Got a piece of the fastball, fouled it back out of play. You have to wonder just how long Dennis Lamp is going to be out of action. They say a severe bruise and a contusion in the fingers of that pitching hand. Breaker or no break, well, he's got to be out for quite a while.
Oh, yes, this is a severe blow to the Cubs. There's no doubt about that. Somebody's going to have to come up and fill that void.
They look at second, the 1-2 pitch. Fastball to him, he gets under it, fouls it back out of play. Well. Montreal came up with a run at Houston, but that was all. The Astros knocked off Montreal 4-1. James Rodney Richard, the winner, and Steve Rogers, the losing pitcher. Fastball, and he fouls it this time in and out of the hands of the customer just past the Cub dugout.
And Bibby's doing quite a job at Philadelphia. Remember what he did against us?
I don't know what's gotten into him, but he has really become a solid pitcher. Pirates leading 6-1 at Philadelphia. If they hold on to win that one, of course, they'll take a 2.5-game lead over Montreal. 1-2 pitch. Let's up on it. It's very high. Looks like it slipped out of his fingers. 2-2. And the Pirates win this rubber game of the series, and the Phillies hold on for that win. The Cubs would be 5 games out. St. Louis 6.5. Philadelphia 8 games out. 2-2 pitch. That's a ball too high. 3-2. The Dodgers, who will be playing here a series starting tomorrow night, are in a virtual tie now with San Diego for 4th place in the National League Western Division. 15.5 away. 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. That's hit deep left field. But Kingman has room. He's there, and he grabs it in front of the Montreal emblem. Gets that throw in quickly, and the runner at second base holds. And Herman Franks, with that hard shot off the bat of Simmons, 13 nervous. He's coming out. Herman wants to make a couple of changes, apparently. He is consulting Ed Montague. He has Dillard to lead off, and then the pitcher with bat second. So it may be that Barry Foote is going to go out, and Tim Blackwell may be coming in, too. No, Bittner. Bittner's coming in, and Thompson is moving into center field. Gary Martin is going to be coming out. Caudill has been down in the bullpen. Virtually the last 2-3 innings is being summoned in. Vince Floyd and Lou Boudreau here with you. Fred Popper, engineer tonight. George Hendrick is going to be facing Bill Caudill, who was getting a little tired in his start down here Friday night. Faced about 1 or 2 too many batters. George Hendrick steps in against him, and he swings and fouls the first pitch back out of play. We now have Scott Thompson in center, Larry Bittner in right field, and Bittner will bat in the 9th spot, so he'll be the second Cub to come to the plate when we move into the 7th inning. Caudill, a right-hander, facing Hendrick, a right-hander. Bill's pitch, swung on and missed. Hendrick kind of bailing away from that fastball. Phillies are going to be 8th out unless they come up with a big rally tonight. It's a swing and a well-hit drive center field. Scott Thompson on the run, looking over his shoulder down to the warning track. He reaches up and he grabs it. Way out about 400 feet away.
Boy, that ball was well tagged.
Scotty stayed with it and hauled it in, and now they will give an intentional walk here to switch hitter Jerry Mumphrey to bring up the right-handed hitting Kenny Reese.
Isn't this something? He needs one hit for 1,000, and they're going to walk a man to get to him?
That's Reese who needs one more hit. They dealt him away briefly to the Giants. There's ball 4. While we'll wait for Reese to step in, runners at first and second too out. Let's take a moment for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
A lively conversation. It's the Bill Bird Show, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. right here on WGN Radio Chicago.
Well, if he's going to get 1,000, I hope he doesn't do it right here because it could really hurt. Runners at first and second. Cottle delivers. Fastball. Strike. I would have to say that would be a first in the major leagues. For one man to get his 3,000th career major league hit and a teammate to get his 1,000th in the same game. Reed swings and he fouls that one out of the Middlebury foot. A strike 2 count on Reeds. Fly ball to Thompson in right field in the second inning. Mumphrey, there's a fastball away, who was on first base, had taken up, and he was over at third when the ball nestled into the arms of Scott out there. So it was a very easy double play to retire the side. Then he hit one right back out on the hill to Capilla to end the 4th inning. Now Barry, the man at second base there for a few pitches, is going out, and they'll be changing signs. We had talked about the softball game at the Groove Happy Cast out at Wrigley Field on Friday against Chicago media players. Camera Day is coming up too this week. That's Wednesday. You fans will be allowed out on the field to take pictures of your favorite Cub players on Wednesday. Prior to the game with the Giants. Now we're ready. 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss for strike 3. Reach one after a high fastball to retire the side, and 2 men are left down again. Now, come on. Moving into the 7th inning, Cub fans of St. Louis on their feet for the stretch. The Cards 2 and the Cubs nothing. Cub fans are on their feet. We don't have the thousands of them that we did here through the first 4 games of this series because a lot of them had to head back for home after yesterday, a working day today. But there's still a few thousand in the house, I guarantee you. And you'll hear them if we can start getting these Cub bats to work. Have only 4 hits so far. All are singles. Kingman a pair. Olivares 1. Jerry Martin is no longer in the ball game 1. Now Steve Dillard has reached on an air and grounded out. Swings and a base hit. Down the third base line. It's going down into the corner. Dillard on his way into second base. Here is Mumphrey's throw to second. Too late. A stand-up double for Steve Dillard. Ripped a shot down the third base foul line. His 7th hit in this series in 17 at-bats. That's the first extra base hit of the night by the Cubs, and now Larry Bittner stepping in for the first time tonight. Larry got into yesterday's ball game. No, he didn't either. Did not get into pinch hitter. Did the day before and got a base hit. He's 3 for 5 here in the series with 1 run batted in. Look at second. Vukovic a pitch. Swung on. Base hit down the left field line. Here comes the first Cub run of the night. Bittner on his way into second base. Mumphrey has trouble. Finally picks up the ball. It is 2-1, and Bittner followed the path almost to the dot that Dillard's drive and taken down the left field corner. Now we hear some noise from the Cub fans as Larry with a double shaves the lead in half, and he now has a tying run at second base. And that for Bittner is his 35th hit of the year and his 24th run batted in. Let's find that spot one more time, Lou.
Yes, indeed. We got to move this man over. I don't know what Herman Franks is going to do, but Al Malpatano is talking to DeJesus. We have to tie him before we can beat him. That was always the theory of the late Mr. McKechnie.
Some players said, or managers had the philosophy, no, you don't play for a tie on the road.
I do when it gets into the middle of August and September, and I'm 3 or 4 games behind the top,
Especially when you got a good bullpen. Will McEnany, left-hander, throwing in the Cardinal bullpen, and Ivan DeJesus stepping in with Bittner at second base. He's just cracked the second double of the ball game by the Cubs. Not going to bunt. He swings at a fastball, and he fouls it out of play to the right side.
Okay, I still say the 2 runs are not going to beat us.
Gets out, gets another sign. Hernandez, playing deep, is not looking for a bunt. Reaches up a little bit at third, but actually pretty close to the bag. Look for him to swing away. Now he pushes the bunt to the first base side, but it rolls by. Son of a gun. Ooh. Just about 2 or 3 more feet to the left. It would not only have been a sacrifice, I think he'd have been on with a bunt single. Now he's got 2 strikes on him. Well, I have to go through that again. Up in the message board up there. June 15th, 1964, the Cubs traded Lou Brock to the Cardinals for pitcher Ernie Broglio. Now, who were the other players involved in the deal? And if you can answer that one, my friend, you're a real trivia expert. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Gonna have to swing away. Go to the right side. Get him over. Here's the pitch. He does! And a base hit into right. Attaboy, Ivan. Victor goes to third. Nobody out. Runners at first and third. What a job DeJesus did on that one.
He had to stay tough in there and really guard the plate to go to right field, and he did it very beautifully. Now, Boyer has a decision to make now with Thompson, and he knows that Bale's on that bench. Will he go to his left-handed relief pitcher, McEnany?
Either way, he's in trouble. There's a Hamilton, shortstop, is over here between the mound and the plate, talking to the umpires and pointing behind home plate. In his seats there must be something reflecting that's bothering him. And one of the people working for the Cardinals right behind home plate, now they're turning around looking up into the seats to see if they can see where it's coming from. That's strange because nobody... I see. They've got somebody here with a mini camera, and he's got his light on. He's behind home plate, and they got a sportscaster there and a sport coat. They were going to do an interview here during these pitches.
All the time, but don't do it out here where you can... Well, what a space in Busch Stadium is, great, and they're going to pick right behind home plate, the bat.
No wonder he was objecting. A pretty powerful light in that thing. Why the guy has to stand right there to do it.
That's right.
He's closing in the aisle right now. Now, don't tell me we're going to have a delay while they have a mini camera down here doing some bit for a late sports show or something. It's a fill-in, it's what it is for whatever they're going to be having on Lou Brock. That's obviously what it is.
It might be the players wise because in that area, the players and their families... I think have the seats behind the screen.
They'll do that between innings. Don't do it. Disturb the game.
Either that or do it in the dark.
Why not? Well, let's not hold up the ball game here. Our guys are hot. We've just had 3 straight hits. And McEnany is going to come in as a new pitcher. But he's been throwing out there for a little while. We normally would let you come in and punch the cash register in a spot like this, but I don't think we're going to have time. We'll make it up to you in October during the playoffs. How's that?
I'll drink to that.
Where's our runner, Waller Grab?
What do you need, coffee?
Waller,
He brought
Waller, would you run down there and tell him to stop that mini camera, please? Here's a buck. Give it to him. He was an assistant producer, but he kind of goofed off yesterday, and he's been demoted to runner. Oh, Vail, he's going to bat as McEnany comes in. Vail came through yesterday with a clutch pinch hit double.
Now, behind the thinking of Boyer in this particular case, because he knew Vail would be the hitter. So he will take 2 outs to give the Cubs the tying run. He's hoping that Vail will hit into a double play.
First pitch to the right-hander is a ball, a little bit low. Then Dillard a double, Bittner a double, DeJesus a single with 2 strikes, and there's his way. And a high fly ball into shallow right field. It's going to be caught. Hendrick is waiting, grabs it. DeJesus walks back to first base. There are 2 gone. Here's Dave Kingman. Singled into left field. And then on a ball into the dirt that started to get away from Simmons with 2 out of the third. He was at second base. He decided to gamble to go for third. Did not pay off. He was thrown out. Swings and he misses for a strike. In the 5th inning, Dave struck out. He has 7 hits here at St. Louis in the series. 7 for 20. Batting average maintained right about at 300. We're tied at 2 in the top of the 7th with DeJesus at first. And McEnany drills one down and away. For 1 strike 1. Camera Day Wednesday. Get out there early. You'll be able to get out onto the field at the ballpark prior to the game with the Giants and take pictures of your favorite Cubs. 1-1 pitch. Swing on. Deep drive. Going down into the corner of left field. Mumphrey can't get through. It's a base hit. Here comes DeJesus around third. It's a little double, good kid. What a tough break over the wall. What a tough break. Mumphrey almost deeper than what Kingman tried to make a catch. I remember that dying whale? Yeah. Mumphrey tried the same thing deep in the corner. Unfortunately, that ball bounced into the stands for a ground rule double. You see on this kind of a surface, as hard as it is, and a shot off the bat at Dave's bat, hit as hard as it is with that topspin, it's going to bounce high. Now they're going to put Taveras on intentionally here to load up the bases because we have the pitcher due up next. Now let's see if Herman wants to counter and get his pitcher out of the ball game and try for a base hit here with 2 out of the bases loaded.
This is the game of strategy now because Herman has to make the first move. Has to putting in a pinch hitter against the left-handed pitcher McEnany. If he puts in his right-handed pinch hitter, he's going to put in Henderson, who's a switch hitter. So now it's up to Boyer. Gone back to the dugout, and here's Kenny Henderson. Has not had much success as a pinch hitter. I show him 3 hits in 15 at bats since the Cubs got him as a pinch hitter. Came in yesterday, late in the ball game as a pinch hitter, failed to reach
and stayed in to play in the outfield, as he probably will do here today, and he struck out. But since the Cubs got Kenny, he is hitting .318 for the Cubs. It's only in a pinch hitting role that he's not had much success so far. But he has 14 hits for the Cubs, 2 of them doubles, 1 homer, driven in 5 runs. Mark at .318. Base hit here could drive in a couple of runs. We have DeJesus at third, Kingman at second, Olivares at first, and Will McEnany, the left-hander, on the hill. This is the spot to win this ball game right here. Warriors rather have McEnany throwing lefty against Henderson batting righty. Here's the windup. Swing at a fastball. Fouls it out of play to the right side. Now the Cubs with 8 hits for the night. St. Louis with 7. And in this inning, 3 doubles by the Cubs. And Pittsburgh is really putting Philadelphia away. They hit them with 3 more runs in the 9th inning to take a 9-1 lead. 0-1 pitch. All in the low. A little surprised that the network tonight selected that Pittsburgh-Philadelphia game for their one of their games of the week. Pittsburgh and Philly had been shown on national television Saturday afternoon. 1-1 pitch. Swung out. A high fly ball. It's going to retire the side. Tony Scott coming in under it. Grabs it. But here you had the drama of Brock going after his 3,000th hit. Then as things turn out, of course, there's no way to foretell it. Got a tough ball game here. Cardinal fans in this big crowd of 44,000 plus paid on their feet for the 7th inning stretch. It is 2-2. Increase the odds of growing a... We have Willie Hernandez as the new pitcher and Miguel Delaney as the new center fielder with Bittner in right and Kingman in left. Buckner and Dillard on the right side of the infield. DeJesus and Olivares on the left side. Berryfoot the catcher. Oberfeld. Cardinal second baseman and 8th man of the batting order steps in. He'll be followed by pinch hitter Bernie Carbo. First pitch. Into the dirt. 0-1. Dick Tidrow going down the Cub bullpen. Hernandez in the windup. Oberfeld swings and drive into left field. That's going to be for base hit. Kingman has to hurry. He backhands the ball from foul territory. Throws to second. He is in there. A double. Just inside the left field line. An opposite field shot. That Oberfeld, don't overlook it. He is now 5 for 16 in this series and hitting over 300 for the year. Both the glove and Oberfeld with a glove. Good 2 young ball players. How often do you see that? Guys in that ace spot hitting like this is right. Dillard and Oberfeld. Boy, that's the hardest clutch to any ball club. That's help. Now here's Carbo, who hit one over the wall the other night. Base hit of the year. Carbo, pinch hitting for McEnany. Batting .277. The home run was his second of the year. Came with 2 men on, and he has a total of 7 runs batted in now. Tough left-handed hitter. Like Henderson of the Cubs, he has not had much success as a pinch batter. Our homer the other night in the twilight doubleheader was his 3rd hit as a pinch batter in 20 trips. He swings, and he's trying to go down the left field line, and he fouls it. Over in the area of the Cub bullpen crew. For the year, Carbo, 13 hits at .277 average. Stretch the pitch by Hernandez, swung on, ground ball to the second baseman Dillard. He can do nothing about stopping Oberfeld from going to third. Carbo bounces out to the right side. With The score tied at 2. Gary Templeton, the batter. Runner at third with 1 out. And look out. Infield has to come in. Templeton batting righty. Takes the first pitch into the dirt, and Barry put a good job of blocking it. Keeps it right in front of him. Templeton starting tonight hitting .336, and he's a stronger hitter right-handed than he is lefty. Against Hernandez, of course, he's batting right-handed. Well, he's got a bear. Remember what you did yesterday, Willie? You struck this guy out. 1-1 delivery. Oh, too low. Hernandez picked up a win yesterday. His second in about a week over the Cardinals. He came in with 1 out, 2 men on. He struck out Templeton. He got Brock to hit a drive deep to center field, but it stayed in the park and then retired the side. And Cubs in took the lead, and he got the win. 2-1 delivery. Goes after a high one. Fouls it out of play. Now go get him. We can strike him out right now. They'll just blow it by him. He doesn't throw a screwball, Lou, but he throws one that'll tail away a little bit like a screwball. It all depends on what kind of speed, velocity he has on the pitch. Into the stretch. Over the top for 1, swung on, he gets under it. It's another foul ball out of play into the seats. Yesterday, Templeton went after a high pitch and struck out, keeping the ball up on Templeton. Ball 2, strike 2 with a man at third. We're tied at 2. Here's a pitch. A strike! Looking. Not over with yet. Tony Scott stepping in. Came into play after Brock got his 3,000th hit tonight. Went out to the outfield when the Cubs came to bat in the next inning. Then Boyer took him out of the game. And he got another tremendous ovation. And Scott went in to replace him in the batting order. Moved into center field. Mumphrey moved to left. Scott swings. Hits a shot. Out of the side. Gets to his feet. He's got it! What a play! Oh, that looked like it was going down into the corner, and Steve Onamaris made a sensational stop. Threw him out to retire the side. That's the game saver right there. We got to win now. Oh, man. All right, we're going into the 8th inning, and it is still tied at 2. Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you at Bush Memorial Stadium, and Barry Foote from Mark Littell takes the first pitch of ball outside. Ooh, what a play that was by Onamaris. 1-0 pitch. Strike called right at the knees. 1-1. Let me tell you, you said something about World Series atmosphere. This has been a great series. It sure has. It really has. Here we are in the rubber game, tied in the 8th inning at 2. Littell over the top, pumps a fastball in for a strike call. World when that ball left the bat. It looked like it had to go between Onamaris and the line for extra bases and give them the lead. Fastball swung on, he gets under it, fouls it back out of play. And Steve with just absolutely superb reactions. Snapped the ball down, it was to his right side, was on all fours. Got to his feet, straightened up and fired a strike to retire the side. Now let's get a run or 2 or 3 or 4 and win it. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, taps a foul over to the third base side. Jim Blackwell, whose brother was killed in that car accident Friday afternoon out in California, telling me today that he plans to leave after our ball game Wednesday at Wrigley Field to to go out to California for the funeral on Thursday of his brother. He said he had 5 brothers all told. Fastball swung out. Well, hit drive in the right center field, but Hendrick, moving over to his right, is there. Makes the catch. Boy, Philadelphia sure taking the pipe, aren't they, Lou?
Yes, they are.
It's 8 games off the pace.
It's very doubtful now whether they can come back 8 games out at this stage of the race.
Pirates knocked them off 9-1. Bibby now 9-2. Christensen, the loser, 3-8. Steve Dillard steps in. Just had an outstanding week. Takes the first pitch high, ball 1. Mark Littell in the windup. There's a swing and a broken bat bouncing ball behind second base. Clubbed by Kepler. On the run. He goes and he gets me. What a play.
Great play by Kepler. Ball was over second base. He reached as far as he could. Ended up only 10 feet from the first baseman.
Unbelievable. I guess that pays us back, huh?
Well, but Altaveras' play was with the lead run in scoring position.
Sheared the bat off on Steve that time. Didn't think Gary'd get to it, but he did. Let me tell you, the fans here tonight, 44,457. This series has drawn a record crowd. Bittner stepping in, and the fans have really gotten their money's worth. They did see Lou Brock get his 3,000th Major League hit tonight. It was a shot, unfortunately, is a strike called, off the hand, the right hand of Dennis Lamb. Dennis had to be taken out of the game. Preliminary x-rays indicated no break, but a very severe bruise on 3 fingers of his pitching hand and a contusion. There's a swing and a foul. Bittner came into the ball game to play right field in the 6th inning. When he got to bat in the 7th, he promptly doubled down the left field line and drove in Dennis Lamp with the Cubs' first run of the night. Dennis Lamp, what am I talking about? Dillard. Dillard had doubled.
It was a Cub, though.
Yeah. We haven't had any other word on Dennis. They were to wait until those x-ray pictures dried off and take another look at him. There's a swing, and he hits a ground ball to Hernandez, the first baseman. Off the mound is Littell, takes it in plenty of time, and the Cubs, in the top of the 8th inning, go down 1-2-3. Cards coming to bat. It is still tied at 2. Total here tonight, 46,161. And this series has drawn 182,273. That's paid. 182,273. And that is a new record here at Busch Memorial Stadium for any series they have played. Boy, they have really seen some baseball. Keith Hernandez steps in, and Hernandez' fastball, Willies to Keith, is a ball in too close. Here's the pitch. Puts up on it, and a high fly ball. Kingman coming in, has plenty of time. Gets there, makes the catch. Two-handed, 1 away. Cubs did get a bad break when Dave hit a shot down the left field line. DeJesus was going to score on it from first base. But the doggone ball bounced off that hard surface out there over the wall for a ground rule double. DeJesus had to be held up at third on it. Had to go back to third. And we couldn't bring him in. So it's still tied at 2. Simmons, batting right-handed, steps in and takes a strike. Willie Wines, sidearm delivery, missed outside. Simmons has not had a great series offensively, but he has driven in a couple of runs. He has only 2 hits in 17 at-bats in this series. 1 out, 1-1 pitch. Swung on, gets under the fastball, fouls it out of play to the right side. Each team with 2 runs, each team with 8 hits, each team charged with 1 error. And this, the rubber game of a 5-game series, how close can it get? 1-2 pitch. Swung on, got a piece of it, fouled it sharply back. Steve Trout, boy, oh boy, wouldn't his dad be just so proud to be around today to see what his young son is doing with the White Sox. A shutout tonight at Baltimore. The let-up swung out, a 1-hopper right back to Hernandez. Beautiful change. Simmons is out easily. How many hits looted Steve?
Well, he only gave up 5 hits, shutting out that hot Baltimore ball club, too. At Baltimore. Did a very fine job. That's his 7th victory. Great.
What a great garden. They got a couple of the young dandy hitters.
What a great future for 1980 for the White Sox in that pitching department.
Now George Hendrick. He's tough against left-handers. First pitch to him, a fastball for a strike. He had a pretty good shot deep to center field off Bill Caudle in the 6th inning. It's 1 for 3 tonight. Well, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 out, the bases empty. Tied at 2. Hernandez winds, changes, and he misses outside. 1-2. Milwaukee edged out Kansas City 5-4. 1-2 pitch, struck out. Kingman back. Hey, he's got room, and he grabbed it on the warning track in left center field. When that ball left the bat at George Hendrick, I had a sinking feeling. I thought it was going to be out, but it did not carry that far. And he looks a little upset. Ooh. Well, my friends, we're going into the 9th inning. It is still tied. 2-2. Here's the inning to go win it. Top of the batting order up. Ivan de Jesus to lead off. Delaney in the on-deck circle, hitting in the number 2 spot. Come on, Ivan, let's get on. Here's the wide up the pitch. Fastball swung on, and well, it drive into left center field, but it is caught. Gary Mumphrey, moving quickly over to his left, hauls it in. Hard hit liner, but there's 1 out, and now Delaney will be the hitter. And if he gets on, you know what he's going to try to do. Yeah, well, bat left-handed. He's 2 for 8 with the Cubs as a left-handed hitter with a run batted in. As a right-hander, he's 2 for 3. That's quite a difference in average. 2 for 8, 250, 2 for 3 is 667. Shortened up as though he was on a butt, and he wound up about 6 feet down the first baseline, taking his fastball for a strike. Boston edged out Minnesota 6-5. Yankees put Texas 3-2. 0-1 pitch. All in too close. 1-1. The Phillies bombed by Pittsburgh 9-1. Houston defeated Montreal 4-1. 1-1 delivery. Fastball swung on a miss to Littell. Really poured that one by him. Looked like it was high out of the strike zone to this little guy. Choking up in the bat about 4 inches. Littell winds. Here's the strike 2 pitch. Strike 3. He didn't know whether to go after it, go fishing, or what. That's strike 3. With the bases empty, Buckner stepping in. Then on once with a walk. Light out, deep to center, get into a force out, slide to right. Dale in the windup. Buckner swings and a bouncing ball to the second baseman. Going to retire the side in order. 3 up, 3 down to the top of the ninth. Now let's hope for an extra inning ball game. Cardinals coming to bat in the ninth. We're tied at 2. Gary Mumphrey, the switch inning outfielder, stepping in to lead off against Willie Hernandez. Mumphrey batting right-handed, bottom of the ninth, to wind up with the first pitch. He backs him away with a fastball. Here's the windup. There's a swing and a bouncing ball to Jesus to his left. He clubs it. Quick throw into the dirt. Buckner hangs in there, and he nails him to the out. Boy. God knowing he had to hurry on that throw, and he darn near threw it away. That's superb fielding move by Buckner.
Yes, sir, he is. He does it so easily and nonchalantly as a first baseman. He can handle that glove as best as anybody I know.
So there's one out. Here's Reitz. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Left-hander in the hill delivers, throws it into the dirt in front of the plate.
Here's the man that you have to be very careful.
There he is. He faces a left-hander. I get nervous in this kind of a spot.
You know, he has only one thing in mind, too.
Yeah. Reach. A game that's tied in the bottom of the ninth. 1-0 pitch to him. Hernandez winds. He takes the ball in too close. Ooh. Reach started the night with 999 major league hits. He still has that many. 2-0 pitch. Throws, he's batted it, drills one into right center field. There he has his 1,000th major league hit. Drive into right center field. I would guess that this is the first time that in one baseball game, teammates have reached 2 milestones. Lou Brock with his 3,000th. Now Kenny Reitz with his 1,000th. Young Tommy Hare, H-E-R-R, just up from the minors, is going to run for Reitz, who's getting a standing ovation.
Now, in this situation, Boyer has been running, so we have to be careful of a hit and run or an attempt to steal. The kid can run. Just brought up from Springfield.
He had 28 stolen bases at Springfield, where he had 292. Oberfell, the left-hander in the batter's box. Hernandez has to keep a real close eye on the runner at first base. That's the winning run of the ball game. Let's open a homestand tomorrow, a 9-game homestand. Hernandez from the stretch. Steps and throws to first base. Runner back safely. Now, this series has set a record in attendance for Bush Memorial Stadium. Cubs, you know, have drawn over 20,000 paid for 26 consecutive dates at home. Here's the pitch. In too close, ball 1. Suter is ready in the bullpen. His arms folded across his chest, just watching the action. Bottom of the ninth, tied at 2. Runner at first, great speed. Here's the pitch. Strike over the inside corner to Ken Oberfell. Oberfell against Hernandez when he led off the 7th inning, the first Cardinal to face him tonight, doubled down the left field line. Great play by Olivares prevented a run in the inning. Here's a pitch. Tries to hold up and he swing, can't do it. I guess he did do it. Third base umpire Harry Wendelstedt says he checked in time. Okay, he's got a better view of it than I have. Ball 2, strike 1.
Yeah, but he's not prejudiced.
I guess that's what pitch? There his runner goes. He slaps a bouncing foul over the first base line. There's was a great job by Oberfell of protecting the runner. That pitch was low out of the strike zone.
It had to be a hit and run, not a steal, or he'd let that ball go. Now they may repeat it right here with the count of 2-2.
First time we've seen Tommy Herr. They just brought him up from Springfield. He looked like he was in full gear with about 2 steps. Willie Hernandez didn't like the feel of that ball. Gets another one. One out. Runner at first. Bottom of the ninth. 2-2 pitch. Look out! He hit it. He was going to work him inside with a sidearm pitch, and he hit it.
You know, now Boyer is putting in the left-handed hitter. He wants to go against Suter. He doesn't want Suter to come into this ball game. So it's going to be up to Herman Franks if he wants to make the move. The announcement has to come from St. Louis first.
Yeah.
And there's Montague announcing that Ort is going to bat. Now, he's the left-handed hitter against the left-handed pitcher, but Herman Franks is not going to take any chances.
Herman says, is it official? Montague says, yes, it is. Here comes Herman out. And he'll be lifting Willie Hernandez here. Boy, that really hurts. Dane Orge, a tough pinch hitter. Herman is approaching the pitching mound, and we're going to have a delay here at St. Louis. Let's take time out for these messages. Dane Orge, IORG, is going to pinch hit. Left-hander batting .285, batting for Littell. Has 1 homer this year and driven in 14 runs. The game on the line. Runners at first and second in the bottom of the ninth inning with 1 out. Tied at 2. Suter into the stretch, delivers. George swings, a line shot into right field. The runner at second is held up. He is not going to try to score. Victor wheels the throw in. Buckner cuts it off. The bases are loaded. There's the kid, inexperienced here as a base runner. And it might cost the Cardinals a game, I hope, because Orge hit a line drive into right center, and the youngster went back towards second base. He wasn't sure, but when it was going to be caught. And he got the good jump on the ball. He would have tallied and the game would be over. The pitch from Suter was a high one. Now the infield and the outfield are going to come in. Here's Gary Templeton swinging at the first pitch and fouling it out of play to the left side. Rubber game of the series. The Cardinals with a great opportunity to win it right here. It looks like a softball setup out there. Strike 1 pitch coming up from Suter. Boy, do we need a strikeout. Goes after that one with the high fly ball. Kingman coming over near the foul line. Oh, look out. He makes the catch. Here's the runner coming to the plate. The throw bounces in. He scores. The ball game is over. The Cardinals have won it. Dave looking pretty upset as he comes walking in slowly. He tried to get as much on it as he possibly could. It hit that carpet well down the line. By the time it reached Barry Foot, Tommy Herr had scored the game-winning run. The Cards take the rubber game. The final, St. Louis 3, the Cubs 2.
Morning.
Welcome to McDonald's.
You probably don't recognize me without the hang gliding outfit.
Oh, you're the one.
I'm wearing a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Make the most of my morning.
That's why you're here.
Starting here at McDonald's, then I'm going diving.
Splash.
Or maybe gliding. Of course, I could jog, but that wouldn't be easy with the flippers.
Enjoy your morning and still have time for fresh grade A scrambled eggs with sausage and hash browns.
A delicious breakfast, a few sets of tennis, and then...
Wimbledon.
No, actually, I thought I'd drop by the office, say hi to the boss, preserve my job. That would be important.
Make the most of your morning.
Well, Well, while it's awfully tough to lose a ball game like this by a one-run margin, to look back at Kingman's ball went for a double with De Jesus on. Had it not bounced over the fence for a ground rule double, the Cubs would have had the lead 3-2, and the strategy would have been a whole lot different. But overall, the most important thing in my mind here tonight, Lou, is that Dennis Lamb, who yielded Lou Brock's 3,000th Major League hit. Unfortunately on that hit, it was a line drive that came back and hit Lamb on the fingers of his pitching hand. He had to be taken out of the ball game immediately. He suffered a severe bruise to 3 fingers of his pitching hand. And the question that I think is the most important one right now, how long have we lost Dennis Lamb?
Well, I've got to agree with you 100%. One game right at this stage is not going to break you or tell you that you can't win a championship. But losing an individual for Lamb for a period of time is really going to hurt. There's no doubt about it. I'm hopeful that if it is a bruise, maybe 10 days or 2 weeks, but I'm just afraid the way he walked off that field that it is a more severe injury than what we think of right now, and it's too bad. And you mentioned that you hit the nail on the head when you said the ball game was Kingman's drive down the left field line. That was an official ground rule double that would have scored 1 run, put him on third, and we would have scored several from there on and would have certainly put this game out of reach for the Cardinals. It was a great series. And listen, when you lose a series 3-2, it isn't too bad because it's just too bad that that Pittsburgh Pirate Ball Club continues to win. But nevertheless, we're going home to Wrigley Field. We're going to take on the Western ball clubs, and all we need is a 5 or 6 game consecutive winning streak, and we'll be right back into it. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
So, while they drew a record crowd for this series, an all-time record for Busch Memorial Stadium, over 182,000 for the 4 dates here in this series. And the Cardinals wind up winning the rubber game of the match. They took the first 2 games, the Cubs won the next 2, and now tonight, in the bottom of the 9th inning, Gary Templeton's line sacrifice fly down the left field line with the bases loaded produced the winning run. Willie Hernandez, who had picked up 2 victories in a week in relief against this ball club, suffers a loss. He is now 4-2. And Mark Littell, very good relief pitcher, comes on and gets the win. He is 8-3. It took 2 hours and 44 minutes. Cards won it 3-2. They out-hit the Cubs 10-8. It was a tough one, I'll tell you that, but it was an interesting ball game and an exciting one. And tomorrow we hope to have more excitement for you when we get back to the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. The Cubs will be hosting the San Francisco Giants tomorrow in the first of a 3-game series. Mike Krukow is scheduled to go tomorrow for the Cubs against left-hander John Curtis. Our broadcast